So metal cutting, basics of metal cutting, I hope you already know now, right? So now we are going to see about engine lathe, or nothing but lathe machine. So I hope all students are familiar with your lathe machine, right? So in your first year workshop, you already done wood cutting lathe. So here also the same thing. So instead of wood cutting, so you are going to cut the metal now. So we are seeing about metal cutting lathe. So in this, normally whatever my usual practice. So first class, because this is the first class for the lathe. So these are the syllabus for you in this lathe. Principle of working of lathe machine, specifications of the lathe, types of lathe machine, taper turning. So different kinds of taper turning processes, lathe attachments, and similarly capstan and turret lathe. A special kind of lathes are there. It's called as a capstan lathe and as well as turret lathe. So those things are there in the syllabus. And single spindle and multi spindle automatic lathe. Then tool layout. So all these things you're going to see in this chapter. So lathe. So what is lathe? I hope you all aware about lathe. So lathe is nothing but it's a machine which removes the material or metal. So material may be wood, plastic or anything. Metal means it's metal. So any kind of material, whether it's a metal or wood or anything metal, from a rotating piece of workpiece to the required shape and size. So what we're doing in metal cutting, we are removing the unwanted material and keeping the wanted material in the required shape and as well as required geometry. So lathe also the same thing. So lathe is also one of the cutting machine tool, or nothing but one kind of machine where the removing the unwanted material from the required material. In this, workpiece is rotating between the two centers. Maybe you can see here in this. So these things you already you're done, I hope, right, in your workshop. So this already you're done, right? So this is the two centers are there. So in this center you having a workpiece material. So this workpiece material is rotating about center axis, and we having a tool here. So this is a tool. So we keeping tool here, and as a tool introduced here, so we removing the material from the surface of this workpiece. So lathe is one of the most important machine tools. So in the metalworking industry, it's one of the most important as well as the oldest machine tool. So lathe operate on the principle of rotating workpiece and fixed cutting tool. So in this, normally workpiece is rotates about its axis, and cutting tool is stationary. Maybe you can see in this image. So your workpiece is rotating and cutting tool is stationary. So this is the basic principle of any lathe. So different kinds of lathe maybe you're going to see in next slide. The cutting tool is feed into the workpiece. So as this workpiece is rotating about the axis, so whatever the cutting tool is there, so cutting tool is going into the workpiece and removing the layer of the material. So layer by layer material is removed. So cutting tool is feed into the workpiece, which rotate about its axis, removing the excess materials and the workpiece to be formed into the desired shape. Once it is removing the excess material, if you see in this, maybe this kind of object maybe you prepared in your workshop. This is nothing but a handle of your chisel, right? So here what you're doing, you're removing this unwanted material. So these are the unwanted materials are there. So from this, whatever the cylindrical portion is there, from that this portion you remove the material from here. So remove the material from here. So remove material from here, right? So lathe machine is also known as it is one of the oldest machine. So that's why it is also called as the mother of all the machines. So I'm going for next slide. So is it required to note down, anybody? So anybody want to note down, please take the screenshot. So later on, maybe you can note down in your class notes. I hope I'm audible for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now he's, you know who is he? Henry Moseley. So he is the inventor of lathe machine. So Henry Moseley was born on isolated farm near Godric in North Yorkshire. So this is in UK. So he was born in 1857. He was invented. He was in 1850s. He was invented this machine. So this is not important. Just for your information, just I am giving this one. Coming to the functions of lathe. So what lathe is doing? So already you have seen in the definition. Lathe is to remove the excess material in the form of chips. So normally material, whenever we are doing the cutting on lathe, so in this, removing the excess material in the form of a chips by rotating the workpiece against a stationary cutting tool. So here, so your workpiece is rotating, right? So if you take this as a workpiece is rotating, whereas your cutting tool is stationary. And this was invented in 18th century. So during industrial revolution, maybe you know that there is a huge requirements are there for machines where more production is required, high productivity, more precision. So whatever they're producing, whatever they're manufacturing, it has to have very good accuracy, high precision is required. So changes in manufacturing process, whatever the previous existing manufacturing process by manual cutting. So instead of manual cutting, now in this 18th century during industrial revolution, inventors are invented a lot of machines to make the process to be simple, lead to the development of high speed. So this process by using the machines, what happened, they're making the manufacturing process at high speed so that the process is faster and they can produce components in very high in number in less time. That's called as a productivity, increase the productivity. Similarly, for special purpose lathes also is developed for doing some special purpose operations. So all these things maybe you can going to see in the next slides. So these are the typical lathe. This is previously whatever you've seen is a wood cutting lathe. So this is a metal cutting lathe. So maybe this lathe maybe you can see in your machine shop, right? So number of lathe machines are there in the machine shop. I hope students who visited the machine shop, they can see this one. So this semester you have this lab, machine tool lab is there. So in that lab maybe you can do the experiment. So maybe when college is reopened, so we're going to conduct experiment on this machine. So lathe machine is also known as a center lathe. So engine lathe, because it's working on worked by engine, that's why called as engine lathe. So also this lathe is called as a center lathe. Why? Because it having a two centers. So workpiece is holded between the two centers. One used to call as a dead center, one used to call it as a live center, or nothing but revolving center. So workpiece is, you see, this is the headstock. This is called as a revolving center or nothing but live center. And here you having a one tailstock. So this is the tailstock. The main important parts, if you say, so any lathe, they are the basic important, four basic important parts are there in any lathe. One is bed. So bed is nothing but the entire bottom portion of the machine on which your entire machine is standing. That is called as bed. And second part is headstock. So this portion headstock, so under which you are holding the workpiece. So workpiece is holding in this. So this is called as a headstock. So headstock is also revolving about its axis. And next tailstock. So opposite to headstock, you having one more machine member is there. So this is not rotating. This only stationary at this particular point. So this point is called as a tailstock because head one side of the machine. Normally headstock is there at left side of the machine. When you're standing in front of the machine, at left side you have to have a headstock, and right side you used to have tailstock. So headstock is one end and tailstock is one end. So in between this headstock and tailstock, you used to hold the workpiece. So previously maybe you've seen in your in wood cutting. So this is a tailstock and this is the headstock. So in between you holded this workpiece, right? Holded this workpiece and this headstock is rotating. So by some gear mechanism or some belt mechanism, it is start rotating. And this is always stationary. So this portion is always stationary. So as this rotates, so as this headstock is rotating, this workpiece is rotates. So workpiece is rotating at particular speed, and cutting tool is at this particular point. This is a cutting tool. So cutting tool is mounted on carriage. So carriage, whatever is there, fourth important point is carriage. So this portion is called as this entire portion. So entire whatever the portion you're seeing, this entire portion is called as a carriage. So in this carriage, you're having consisting of a cutting tool. So this cutting tool is mounting on this, and this is removing the material. Whatever the material, unwanted material is there, so that removing by this. So cutting tool is sitting on a carriage. So these are the four important points, four important parts of any lathe. One is bed, one is the headstock, and one is tailstock, and one is the carriage. This is the carriage, center portion. Center portion is the carriage, extreme left portion is the headstock, extreme right portion is tailstock, and base of the lathe is your bed. So these are the four important points. So in addition to these points, in these points again few small parts also there. So in that, if you say here, so these are different parts of any lathe machine. That is headstock. Headstock is extreme left side of the machine, and this is the spindle. So spindle is nothing but the rotating member. So spindle, whatever is showing. So inside there is a rotating member is there. So on that rotating member, so that workpiece holder are nothing but your check. Whatever you are seeing in your lathe, whatever the check is there. So check is normally mounted on a spindle. So spindle is nothing but rotating portion of the lathe is called as a spindle. So this is the workpiece. This is work holding device. So nothing but check. and this is a tailstock, whatever you have seen in this previous slide. So this is the tailstock. In between headstock and tailstock, your complete workpiece is holding. So workpiece is holding between the tailstock and as well as headstock. So this is there in workpiece, right? So this is workpiece, and then this is the tool. So this is called as the tool post. This carriage, whatever you see in carriage, again this many parts are there. So one is tool post. So this whatever the you're seeing this one. So this is nothing but having a groove in this, and in this groove you're inserting the your cutting tool. So this is called as the tool post. And this portion, whatever the projection you're seeing here, so this projection is the cutting tool. So cutting tool is mounting on tool post, and this is mounted on a compound rest. So this complete entire tool post, whatever is there, it is mounted on a rectangular block, maybe whatever you've seen in the black portion. This is called as a compound or nothing but compound rest. So on this tool post is resting. That's why you used to call it as a compound or compound rest. And here in between compound rest and mounting on a some kind of vise. Maybe you can see in the vise in your carpentry. Similar kind of vise, some similar kind of vise is there. When you're rotating this handle, so this portion can move forward as well as the backward. That's why this used to call as the cross slide. So because this is the main cutting, because your workpiece is rotating about a particular axis. To this, it is rotating across to this one. That's why this whatever slide is there. So this slide is called as a cross slide. So tool is moving on as you're moving the cross slide. So cross slide is consisting of a handle. So by rotating this handle, maybe I can take a pen here. So by rotating this handle, so this portion is moving forward as well as backward. If you're rotating in the clockwise direction, it's moving forward. If rotating in anti-clockwise direction, it's coming backward. So it's vice versa also can be possible. So these are the few parts are there, tailstock, and this tailstock is fixed one particular position when you are machining, right? So, but once you're now in this, the workpiece is this much long. Sometimes you need to machine a workpiece which is a shorter in length. So in that case, how you can mount this tailstock? So because tailstock is a stationary portion only during machining. But once you stop the machine, you can inside there is a bolt mechanism is there. If you unbolt this one, so this tailstock can move forward as well as it can move backward also. So this tailstock is moving on a vise. So this used to call as a tailstock, railways we used to call. So vise, guide vise, this used to call as a guide vise. So in this guide vise, so your tailstock is moving forward and backward. So this is the guide vise, and also this portion is calling it this entire portion. So whatever it's consisting of all this tool post, cutting tool, cross slide, compound. So all this is called as a carriage, right? And this is a cross slide. Already I told you by moving this one, you're moving forward and backward. And similarly, this carriage also can move. So cross slide is moving in this direction, right? And this carriage, this is cross slide, and this is the carriage. Carriages can move in this direction. Because what happened? When your workpiece is rotating about this particular point, you need to machine from this portion to up to this portion you need to machine. Then your cutting tool has to move from here to there. So if this carriage movement, because of movement of this carriage only, your workpiece, whatever the tool is there, it start machining from this portion to this portion. Like this, it is moved. This cutting tool is moving from here to there. So now at this particular point, your cutting tool at this position. So already machining has done. Whatever the white portion you're seeing, so in this white portion already machining is done. It is a finished surface. So starting from here, it is machining has done. Means this carriage whichever is there is moving in this direction. So remember, carriage is moving parallel to the axis of rotation, and cross slide whichever is there, it is moving perpendicular to the axis of the rotation. So these two are the primary, the secondary motions, and this is the primary motion. So whatever the cutting motion is there. So rotation of your axis. So rotation of axis. So this rotation of axis, whatever the motion is there, that is called as the primary cutting motion. So these are the things are there. Then lead screw is there. So lead screw, why? Because whatever the carriage is there, so carriage is moving on the lead screw. So this is the lead screw. This is nothing but a threaded rod is there. So this you can see on your lathe when you are visiting your machine shop. You can see there is a threaded shaft is there. So this threaded shaft is called as a lead screw. So these are the basic important detailed parts of lathe. Majorly it's having only 4 parts. So each part again having the different, like headstock, you having headstock as well as you having a spindle. Similarly, and carriage is the most important part of the lathe, which is consisting of cutting tool. So in the tool post is there, cross slide, everything is there. So lathe are the oldest machines. So whatever I explained to you, that only I'm just putting in the words here. So lathe are the one of the oldest tools, machine tools. So it's consisting of main component of the lathe is bed. Just now you're seeing bed is nothing but it is supports all major components. Whatever the major component, that is headstock, tailstock, carriage, everything is mounted on this bed only. So the portion which is supporting the entire machine is called as a bed. Then carriage. So carriage, whatever you see, it can slide from tailstock to headstock. Slides along the waist and consisting of a cross slide, tool post, and apron. So this whatever the cover is there. So this cover used to call as the apron. So whatever is entirely covered, right? So this used to call as the apron. Headstock. So headstock is holding carriage, and then headstock. Headstock hold the jaws for the workpiece. It's consisting, normally headstock is consisting of a different kind of object. Maybe checks are there or face plates are there. So different kind of work holding devices can mount on the headstock. Normally headstock main purpose is hold the workpiece through jaws or whatever and supply the power. So power is coming from here only, and actual cutting force, so actual rotation of the workpiece is happening in headstock only. So power transmission is coming in headstock. And next one is the tailstock. So tailstock support the other end of the workpiece. So one end of the workpiece is mounted on headstock, and other end of the workpiece is supported by tailstock. So normally in some machining process, requirement of tailstock is not there. For example, if you are machining very small object, just you see this like this object is there, which is very small. If you just want to hold it with the tailstock, that is sufficient. So here a support is not required. Support when is required? So if this length is very longer, so then only support is required. So that's why if you are having a machining a small component like 200 mm or maybe 100 mm, so less than that, if your object is there, so not required any kind of tailstock. Tailstock normally required only when your length of the workpiece is more than half meter, more than 500 meter, then only is required. So feed rod and lead screw. So feed rod, lead screw, nothing but, so this is the feed rod. Feed rod is also called as a lead screw. So this is whatever this rod is there, this is the feed rod or lead screw. So normally what it will do, it is actually, this is also rotating by the power. By rotation of this one, this lead screw, your carriage is moving forward as well as backward. So depending upon the rotation of your lead screw or feed rod, if you're rotating in clockwise direction, your carriage is moving in one direction. If you're rotating other direction, this is coming in the reverse direction. It is simple, a bolt and nut mechanism. So for example, if you see a nut, you're having a threaded rod is there. On the threaded rod, if you're rotating your nut, what happens? Nut is moving forward and backward. So here also happening same thing in thread in this lead screw. In this lead screw or feed rod, lead screw or feed rod, whatever is there. So as this is rotating, so as it rotates about its axis, so this carriage is moving forward as well as backward. If you're moving one direction, you're moving backward. If it is moving other direction, it is coming forward. So simple nut and bolt and nut mechanism. So these are the few important parts are there in lathe. So I hope any question in this. So right, I'm going for next slide. Yes, sir, any question?
एक दो स्लाइड पीछे जाइए सर.
क्या बोले? One more slide.
दो स्लाइड पीछे जाइए.
This slide?
और एक, yes sir. ये स्लाइड में सर इससे पहले का.
So
पहले का सर.
क्या है ये? क्या डाउट है आपको?
नहीं इसके बाद दो.
इसके बाद ये है?
नहीं सर, इसके बाद का और एक.
This one?
और एक. ये सर, ये वाला. सर ये जो लाल वाले कंट्रोल सीक्वेंस सर ऊपर, ये क्या है सर?
क्या बोले? कौन सा वाला? ये वाला बोल रहे हैं?
ये सर. This is
nothing but ये इसका पार्ट नहीं है.
ये कंट्रोलर से सर.
This is a power socket. This is not part of this.
सर ये मोटर को मतलब स्पीड कंट्रोलर रहता.
ये है ना. This is whatever you're seeing. This is nothing but speed controller. ये gears रहते हैं अंदर. So like your automobile, you are changing the gear. Similarly here also you can change the gear. As change the gear, your speed is changes.
Okay. RPM क्या रहती है sir maximum?
So every machine having its own different kind of RPM. So fixed RPM कुछ भी नहीं है. It is depending upon the machine to machine. I think these questions we can take in at the end of the class.
Okay.
Right? So RPM ये पूरा depend करता है. हर machine का अपने अपना RPM रहता है. It's not fixed RPM. हर लेथ का ये RPM है, ये speed able के नहीं बोल सकते. That is depending upon machine to machine.
Yes sir.
Any other questions? So coming to the working principle. So just I will take 2 slides and then we will take a break of 10 minutes. Then we will come back. So a simple working principle of any lathe is this thing only. So what we are doing in in lathe. So this is a typical workpiece, right? So workpiece we are inserting between the 2 centers, 2 supports. one is headstock, one is the tailstock, right? So when you are fixing between the two supports, so headstock, what is doing? It start rotating this one, and this portion tailstock, whatever is there, it's only this simple, it's supporting. Even if it's rotating about its particular point, it's just supporting. क्या बोलते हैं यहाँ पर इसको बेंड नहीं होना या फिर इसको यहाँ पर ड्रॉप नहीं होना बोल के वो सपोर्ट कर रही है. So but this headstock is holding and it is rotating. So the simple, it's rotating like this. When it is rotating, so we having a cutting tool, right? So cutting tool is at this perpendicular to this one, it is cutting tool is there. So this cutting tool removing the material. So whatever the cutting tool is there, when cutting tool is interacting with this workpiece, so it's removing the material. So this is starting from here. So initially it is here, right? So it is here. So as it having some, it's penetrated into some distance. So at this particular point, whatever the material is there, that material is start removing. So as the material is going to remove. So as it's rotating, and this tool is rotating in this direction, workpiece is rotating in this direction. So workpiece is rotating, right? In this direction it is rotating. Tool is rotating in this direction. It's called as a feed. And similarly, depth of cut. Depth of cut is not giving now. Depth of cut is giving only at the starting of the process. Once you're given the depth of cut, so this, whatever the tool is there, is moving parallel to this one. Like this it's moving, right? So like this it's moving forward, and as it's moving from here to here, the material is removing, right? So this is a simple working principle. If somebody asks you the working principle, you need to write this one. You need to explain that. So fixing between the two centers, one is a fixed center, one is a moving center. So fixed center is called as a tailstock, and moving center called as a headstock. Headstock is rotating the workpiece. So as it rotates, so workpiece is introducing here. So workpiece is there. So workpiece is moving from one end of the workpiece to the other end of the workpiece. So this movement of workpiece is called as a feed. So you are explain this one in, if it is a 2 marks question, just you write the words, maybe in 4 or 5 sentences you can explain. If it is a 5 mark questions, you need to draw this diagram also. So in addition to that one, so in addition to surface, so maybe it is the basic pin is happening here. So initially it is this much diameter, so nothing but this one. So if you see this, so this is the diameter of the workpiece initially. So as it's removing, so this diameter of the material, whatever this material is there, so this material is removing by this cutting tool. So this is unwanted material, like we can say. So removing the material of this shape, and finally we are going to get this size of the diameter. So in the tool tools moves parallel to the workpiece, parallel to the axis of the rotation. So this is the axis of the rotation, and this is the movement of the tool. So tool is moving parallel to this one. So if instead of parallel, if your tool is rotating about some angle, so here you are moving parallel to this one, right? Yahan par axis and this is a parallel. So then we are going to get a parallel surface. It's nothing but cylindrical surface. If we are rotated, so whatever the tool post is there, if you are rotated the tool post at some particular angle, and this whatever the motion of the cutting tool is there, it's making some angle. So in this slide, if you rotated this tool post at some particular angle alpha, and this is moving in this direction, so in that case, what you do, you're not going to get a flat surface. You're not going to get a cylindrical surface. Instead of that, you're going to get some tapered surface. So this kind of principle working is called as a taper turning. So if the tool moves inclined to the axis, it produces a taper surface. So this taper surface production is called as the taper turning. So this process, whatever the lathe machine we are doing, is called as the turning process. In this, if it is a taper, if you're producing a taper surface, it's called as the taper turning. If you're producing a cylindrical, it's called as this. And this is for taper turning, to make a taper kind of portion to make. So taper, I hope taper aapko pata hai, right? So if surface, outside surface of the object is parallel to the axis, is called as a cylinder. If it is an incline, it is called as a taper, right? You know this. So here we are doing the same thing. So what we are doing in previous case, in this plane turning and nothing but cylindrical turning, we are moving the cutting tool parallel to the axis of the cutter, the axis of the workpiece. So this is the workpiece, and this is the direction of movement of cutting tool. So cutting tool moving parallel to the axis of the object. Then we are going to get this kind of cylindrical surface we are getting. If you want to get a tapered surface, what we are doing, just try to rotate this tool post. What the tool post is there, we rotated some angle. So maybe that angle is alpha here, and this angle and this whatever the tool is there. So workpiece is rotating in this particular axis, but your tool is moving at this particular axis. So here you see, if you take these two, there is some kind of inclination is there. So because of this inclination, this inclined surface you're going to make. So this inclined surface is calling it as a taper, right? So like this, you're making a taper products. So working principle, same thing. So whatever, if anybody want to take screenshot here itself. So the same thing, whatever I explained to you. Normally, what is the working principle of lathe is, if any question is coming in the working principle of lathe, these statements you need to write. So workpiece, this whatever is happening in the lathe machine, it holds the work between the two supports called as the centers, two centers. So tailstock as well as the headstock is called as the two supports. Tailstock is the dead center, and headstock is calling it as the live center, or nothing but revolving center. So in between these two centers holding the workpiece, right? So first purpose of the lathe, and then check our faceplate is used for holding that workpiece. So that whatever the headstock is there, so in the headstock, we're keeping check. Normally, if you take in your machine shop, we used to have the checks. So in checks, you are inserting your workpiece. So checks, even some small kind of objects, if you want to hold it. So for that, we used to have the faceplates also. So checks or faceplates are mounting on the headstock, and in this headstock, we are keeping on the workpiece. So check or faceplate is mounted on the machine spindle. So this is whatever is there, it is mounted on the spindle. So spindle is the rotating portion of the workpiece. So just give me 2 minutes. I'll come back. Yes, somebody is asking some question. Hello. Any I want to go back to the previous slide. So is I am audible, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So we are here, right? So these are the working principles of lathe. So 3 points are completed, right? So the 4th point, if you say, so this is over. It's holding the workpiece between the two supports. Check or faceplate is also used as the holding. Holding is with these checks are there in this in one of the center, right? And checks and faceplates are mounted on the machine spindle. Spindle is nothing but rotating portion of the lathe is called as the spindle. So cutting tool is held and supported on the tool post. So already we have seen in this previously, right? Whatever the carriage is there in between the tool, in between the two tailstock and headstock. So whatever the carriage is there, carriage carrying the tool post. So on the tool post, we are having a tool. So cutting tool is held and supported on the tool post. The movement of job is rotated about the spindle axis. When the spindle is rotating, because on spindle we are having a check or faceplate as mounted. So in this check or in this faceplate, we are keeping our workpiece, right? We're keeping this, if you assume this is the spindle. So on the spindle, we are having a check. So check is holding the workpiece. So as the spindle rotates, so this check is rotating. So as the spindle rotates, it's rotating, and because this, whatever the holding device is there, check, is already mounted, holding the workpiece. So as check is rotates, so along with the check, your workpiece is rotating. And this workpiece is very long, then we used to have tailstock. So tailstock is supporting. As it rotates, so when it is a very long, what happened when it is rotating, there is some kind of deflection may happen in other side, free end, right? You studied in your mechanics of solids. Some force is acting on this, we having some kind of deflection. The shear bending moment as well as the deflection is coming in the beam. So this deflection, if it is a smaller, deflection is very less, that is maybe that we can negligible. But if it is a very long, your deflection is depending upon the length of the beam. If it is a very long, your deflection will be more. To avoid the deflection, we used to have some support in this in other direction, right? So we have used to give some kind of support so that when it is rotating, so this only supporting, so that it's not supposed to bend, but it is not holding. It's not like this in tailstock. Tailstock is simply it is touching with the workpiece, and just it is giving some kind of support to the workpiece, right? So in between these two, your workpiece is holded, and this is rotating. So movement of the job is rotating about the spindle axis. So like that, as the spindle is rotating, right? So your workpiece is rotating. And in this, when the tool is there, tool is mounted on a tool post. So this tool is giving some feed. So some kind of feed is given to the tool. So as it rotates, so at this particular position, you are removing the unwanted material. So as it moves on, so wherever the tool is moving, so at this particular position, you are removing the material. So tool feed against the revolving the workpiece. So this is revolving and tool feed is given. So you are giving a feed like this, right? So like this feed, you're removing the material. So initially when you're keeping here, you're removing the material only here in this particular position. So as your goes on moving, so you're removing the entire surface of material you are removing. Otherwise, if you're keeping only here, if you're not giving feed, what happened? Your material is removing only at this particular position. So in remaining position, you cannot remove the material. To remove the material, what need to do? You need to move this cutting tool parallel to this one, like this, it has to move. So that only is happening. Tool feed is against the revolving workpiece, right? So movement of the tool is either parallel to whether this movement of this tool is, if it is a parallel, you are going to get a cylindrical portion. If it is inclined to this axis, you are going to get a taper surface. So taper turning as well as the cylindrical turning. And cylindrical turning also called as the plane turning. Then is coming to be specifications. So these are the basic mechanism or nothing but working principles of the lathe. So anybody want to note, please note down this. Otherwise, maybe you can take a screenshot. Then I go for next slide. So next, any student having any issue? Please let me know. Sayyid Sajid. Okay, I'm going for next slide. So this is next. First, in first point in the syllabus is working principle of lathe. Second one is specification of the lathe. So main specification of the lathes are, these are the 5 specifications. So length are nothing but distance between the centers, height of the center, and then swing diameter over the bed, swing diameter over the carriage, maximum bar diameter. So these are the 5 important specification of any lathe. So now the question is arise. So what is specifications? So can anybody tell me what is specifications?
Height, length,
yes, height, weight, diameter. So all these things, whatever that is called as specifications. So why these specifications are required? तो स्पेसिफिकेशन की क्या जरूरत है? क्यों स्पेसिफिकेशन चाहिए हमको? So specification
to fit in the machine.
Yes, tell me.
Requirement to fulfill the requirement, matlab fitting in the machine.
Exactly, to see the requirement. Specification means the physical parameters to which you can specify the particular machine. So specification is nothing but the physical parameter which used to specify the particular machine or particular component. That is called as the specifications. So for example, if you take as a person, you are the person, right? Your name is a specification, even though it's not a physical, but you are specified by your name, right? So some students are there in the class, right? You are specified, or you are recognized by your name, right? So that is one kind of specification. Similarly, specification you want to specify, you can specify with the physical appearance. What is your height? What is your weight? What is your means your fat or thin? Like so, like this you can specify. You can recognize a person. Similarly, for machines also, you need to recognize or you need to specify. You need to give some kind of specification to the machine. So these are the 5 important specifications through which we can identify a machine. So for example, we need to buy a lathe, right, for our workshop, or maybe tomorrow you're starting your own company and you want to buy a lathe machine. So in market, if you go, number of hundreds of lathe machines are available. So which kind of lathe machine is required to you? So for that, these specifications you need to give. So these specification is depending upon what kind of products you are manufacturing on the lathe, which kind of object you are making. For example, if you are going for next slide, so here maybe you can see in this picture. So here the specifications. So distance between the center, this is one of the important specifications. Just important specification and rounding up. So distance between the centers. So this live center are nothing but headstock to tailstock. If you know this specification, then only you can decide how much length of workpiece you can machine on a lathe. So this is the most important specification of any lathe. So distance between the centers are nothing but center distance. So tailstock, headstock, distance between that. So based upon that only, that much big object you can manufacture, you can make. If this distance is for example, this distance is 3 meters, right? If this distance is 3 meters, means you can machine maximum 3 meters size of length of the object you can machine. If it is 500 mm, so this whatever the distance is there. So if it is only half meter, right? 0.5 meter. If the specification only 0.5 meter, means you can machine an object of only 0.5 meters, not more than that. So that's why these specifications are very important. Your specification is depending upon your final applications. So and this is important to buy or to specify a machine. So this is the 5. This is the first one, right? So distance between the centers. And second one is the swing over bed. So swing is nothing but, so distance between the center of your centers. So this particular live center or dead center or headstock center, center of the headstock to your complete, where is the your bed is there. So this is the distance, and as well as the distance between the swing over carriage. So this will decide you what size of diameter you can machine on this, right? So that more than that is not possible to. For example, this distance, whatever distance is there, so this is something about 200 mm, right? So means maximum 200 mm radius of workpiece you can machine on this lathe. So more than that, if it is there, you cannot machine, because what happened, you are inserting that, so your workpiece is touching with this your carriage, so it's not possible to rotate, right? So this is the specification. So this is one is the swing over carriage, so distance between the center, and similarly height. So this whatever the height of the center, height of your center. So from the ground center, how much distance? So based on this only you can specify the height of your machine, so that at which height you can work it. Means as a comfort level, as I told you in the first class. So ergonomics are nothing but comfort level of operators also important. So you cannot machine something which is higher than your head, or maybe higher than your neck also is very difficult. And similarly, if it is very low height, maybe less than your knees, again it's very difficult to hold it, or maybe very difficult to operate. You need to sit down there. So both heights are difficult. That's why you need to have some standard height which is equivalent to your comfort level to your operations, right? You have to machine. A operator who is operating, or a worker who is working on the machine, for him has to comfort level. So for his height, maybe something about 3 feet, or nothing but 1 meter. So 1 meter, if center distance is coming about 1 meter, means something about, you can by standing comfortably you can operate by holding your hands. So these are the height, also one of the important specifications, height of the center. So these are the 5 parameters, right? So length between the center, height of the centers, swing diameter over the bed, swing diameter over the carriage, and maximum bar diameter. So maximum bar diameter is nothing but here. So sometimes you're holding the workpiece in between, but in sometimes if you see in your lathe, so whatever the spindle is there, so this spindle is hollow. If you want to have a big rods of diameter, something about 20 mm or maybe something about 15 mm, you can insert that rods from this portion also. When you're cutting very big rods into a small pieces, so this diameter of the spindle also one of the important specifications. So that much size of the rods you can insert into this one. Even the length of the rod is more than this center, so that also you can machine it, so that you can keep it in this and you can hold it at this particular point using face plate or maybe chucks, and you can start rotating. So this is also one of the important specifications, size of the spindle. So these are the five specifications which are very important for the lathe. So length, they are nothing but distance between the centers, height of the centers, swing diameter over the bed, as well as swing diameter above the carriage, and maximum diameter of the bar which can insert into the spindle. So this one. So this is one parameter. So this is one. So this is one, center the height, and this is one, above the spindle, your carriage height, swing above the carriage, and swing above the bed, and this diameter. So these are the 5 important specifications of lathe. So any questions from this specifications of lathe?
Sir, swing diameter can you explain, sir? Of carriage.
Diameter. Okay, just a minute. Just I'll try to remove this one. I'm removing all this thing, right? So swing diameter, right? That's your confusion. Swing diameter is nothing but actually, so if you're inserting a workpiece here, right? A cylindrical workpiece you're inserting. Normally lathe, all the workpieces are similar cylindrical workpiece only. If you insert a cylindrical workpiece here, so what size of the cylindrical workpiece you can insert? So I'm inserting this. So how much big diameter you can insert? So I'm inserted this size, right? So this is comfortably inserted. I've inserted one more object. I've inserted this much, right? So I've inserted one more workpiece. So this much diameter I've inserted, right? So this is called as the swing diameter. So diameter at which we can insert between the 2 centers, or we can mount it on a check, and without any interaction or huddle of this bottom portion, whether it's a carriage or whether it is a bed, without interfering with it, what are the maximum diameter of the workpiece you can revolve on, this is called as the swing diameter. So if this diameter is above the carriage, whatever is there, this is called as the swing over carriage. So this is the carriage on which your tool post is lying. So swing over carriage. So this is the diameter of the workpiece, which can nothing but radius of, this is the radius and this is the diameter. So radius of the workpiece which is without touching with the carriage, it can rotate, is called as the swing over carriage. Similarly, swing over bed. So this is the bed portion. So above this, even sometimes what happened, we are not keeping tool post here, we are removing this carriage. if you want to have a big workpieces, what we used to do, this carriage, instead of mounting on the bed, we can mount it on the parallelly, we can mount it on the ground. So our tool machine is here, so little bit distant. So your tool post is mounted here because we need to machine with a big diameter of the workpiece. So what we'll do, we'll keep it little away, so we can keep some kind of foundation we need to make on the ground, and on here we are keeping our workpiece, keeping the cutting tool, a tool post as and cutting tool. So in this particular position, what happened when you're removing this carriage? So how much diameter of the workpiece can rotate on this? So maximum diameter of the workpiece which is rotating without touching with just a minute, without touching with the bed. So I'm removing all this, right? I'm removing this. So we are removing the, for example, because this carriage is nothing but it's a movable part, right? It can move from here, it can move this direction as well as it can move this direction also. After moving here, how much maximum size of the object or size of the workpiece we are mounting? So maybe, so this much big size of the workpiece you can mounting, right? This much big. So this much big size of the workpiece you can mount it. This much. This is the radius. This is the center. So this is the radius. So whatever the radial distance is there. So this is called the swing over bed. So this is the bed. So this is called as the swing over bed. So these are the two specifications as given: swing diameter over the head, over the bed, and swing diameter over the carriage. So if carriage is there in this particular position, so what is the maximum diameter of the workpiece can machine or can rotate in this spindle is called a swing over carriage. If it is, we remove the carriage, maybe carriage we are shifting in this position, keeping here, or maybe carriage we are shifting outside, we are removing from the machine, we are keeping separately, offset to the machine, we are keeping the carriage. In that condition, what is the maximum diameter of the workpiece can rotate on this? That is called as the swing over bed. So these are the two specifications are important. So these specification will govern you or give you how much maximum diameter of the workpiece you can machine or you can revolve on cutting on this lathe, right? So is it clear? Swing over diameter. So yes, we can go for this is about specification. They are the 5 important specifications for the lathe. So in addition to this, maybe the different other specifications also there, like your power of motor, how much power of motor engine is there for this, maybe 1 kilowatt or 2 kilowatt. Similarly, what is the speed, how much maximum speed can be possible in a lathe? Those also specification. But basic, these are the 5 specifications. So distance between the centers, length between the centers, height of the centers, swing diameter over the bed and swing diameter over the carriage, and as well as maximum bar diameter. These are the 5 more important specifications. So now maybe we can go for the types of different types of lathes. So there is a different types of lathes are there. So in that maybe you can see the most important or most common use of lathe is engine lathe. So whatever we are seeing just now, whatever the lathe machines we are seeing, and whatever the lathe machines are there in your workshop, so it's considering as an engine lathe. So why this is called as the engine lathe and also called as the center lathe? So why it is called as an engine lathe? So initially when these lathes are invented, so these lathes are used by engines. So by IC engine they used to use. So using IC engine, it used to rotate the whatever the cutting tools are workpieces are rotated. That's why this used to called as an engine lathe. But now that engine lathe are replaced with the electric power. So now we having electric motor. So in that we don't have the engines. So instead of DC engine, instead of you having IC engines, we having electric engines or electric machines are there. We used to call it as electric machine. So DC motors are there. So even though it's replaced with the DC motor, because it's the same principle, everything is same. That's why they used to call it as the engine lathe. And center lathe, why it's called? Because it's having a 2 centers. One is dead center, one is life center. That's why this kind of lathe machine is called as the center lathes also. It's most common type of lathes, most widely used in everywhere. Most of the machines, most common machine is this lathe machine. The speed of the spindle can be widely varied as desired, which is not possible in the speed lathe. So the one more lathe is there, one more type of the lathe is there. Maybe I will explain you in the speed lathe in next slide or after that slide. So in this engine lathe, normally we can change the speeds. So maybe you can keep it as a 200 revolution RPM, as well as you can keep it as a 500 RPM also. So these changes are happened by changing the gear mechanism. So in our lathe, whatever is there, used to have the gears. So as our vehicles, we are changing the speed. Similar way, we can change the speeds of engine lathe also. So for that, we have a gear mechanism. Similarly, in some lathes, you having a constant speed lathes are there. So those lathes are called as a speed lathe. That maybe we can discuss the lecture. And then next one is the bench lathe. So bench lathe is nothing but similar kind of lathes only, but only thing size of this lathe is very smaller. So maybe you're using to something like small object, like some kind of pins or some kind of clips or some kind of small workpiece you are making. So for that, whatever the length is, lathes are using. So that lathe is called as a bench lathe. Why we used to call as a bench lathe? So because this lathe is mounted on a benches, so it's not required to mount on the ground. So because normally whatever the engine lathes you seen in previously, and as well as whatever the lathes are there in your machine shop. So in that machine shop, so normally lathes are mounted on the ground. So because the lathes are bigger in size. If the same kind of lathe is small in size, so what we will do? If you keep it on the ground, what happens? Its size is less than half meter. So it's very difficult for the operator to operate. That's why what we used to do, these small lathes we're keeping on the benches. So benches already some 3 feet height benches there. So on that maybe you're keeping this 1 feet or maybe 1.5 feet height of lathe you're keeping. So this small lathe is called as a bench lathe. So small lathe, which is mounted on the workbench, is called as a bench lathe. It is used to make a small precision and light jobs, small size of the job, like pins are there, like some small clips are there, small size objects are there. So whatever the objects are there, that is used to manufacture by using this bench lathes. So please note down these points. So these are the important questions may come in your exam. So different types of lathes. So first one is the engine lathe or nothing but center lathe. Second one is a bench lathe. So engine lathe is a more common purpose lathe, more general purpose lathe. Whereas a bench lathe is a smaller size lathe. Small size lathe we used to call it as a bench lathe. Fine, I'm going for next other types of lathe. And next one is the speed lathe. So as I told you, speed lathe is actually, it's a precision lathe, but in this variation of the speed is not possible. If a lathe at particular speed, so at that particular speed only it used to operate. That's why this used to called as speed lathe. It's named because of the very high speeds, and this whatever the speed is there. So normally these speeds are very high in high speed. Compared with the engine lathe, normally these speeds are very high. Instead of 100 RPM or 1000 RPM, it is rotating at it is more than 1000 RPM. It is rotating. When rotating more than 1000 RPM, whatever the cutting speed is there, so cutting speed is very high. So consisting of headstock, tailstock, and as well as the tool post. And normally in this gearbox is may not be there because there is no variation in the speed. So gearbox when is required? So when we need to change the speed, in that condition only we need to have the gears. If you don't want to change the speed, everything is constant speed is running. So then gearbox is not required. So normally in speed lathe, so gearbox are may not be there. So applicable these kind of lathes are applicable in normally wood turning, metal spinning operations, and all these things are is required. Maybe in your wood turning lathe, whatever in your first year you are done. So in that at constant speed only you are machining. Speed cannot vary there. You cannot change the speed. So at constant speed only operations is performing. That's why those lathes are called as a speed lathe. So a lathe which can machine only at constant speed, and that speed is very high speed, is called as the speed lathe. Then is coming as tool room lathe. So tool room lathe normally in tool rooms, these lathes are very precision lathes, but small in size. So whatever image you are seeing in this, so it's a typical tool room lathe. So normally these lathes are completely controlled in control atmosphere. So completely in air conditioning system, these tool room lathes are there. Because in these tool room lathes used to very precision machines. So even small 1 micron deviation also not permissible in this tool rooms. So normally for any kind of molds or any kind of objects which used to have high precision, so those kind of things used to machine or used to manufacture on this kind of lathes, tool room lathe. So it is similar to an engine lathe designed for obtaining very accurate sizes. So if you see in this image, so we use here top. So you have some kind of meters are there. So actually these meter readings are giving you the sizes as well as the surface finish of the workpiece. So when you need to machine, when you need to manufacture an object where dimensional accuracy and surface finish is very much important. So for that we need to have this kind of tool room lathes are required. So it is used for manufacturing precision components, dies, tool jigs and fixtures, etc. are used to manufactured by this. So that's why, because this is using for tool room applications, that's why this kind of lathe is called as a tool room lathe. And next lathe is automatic lathe. So you know, so previously whatever the lathes are there in that feed, even though speed is given by the machine, by your lathe machine only, but feed as well as the depth cut is given by the operator. So when you're doing in your workshop in the wood cutting lathe, the cutting tool movement is happened by the operator only. Operator only is controlling the feed and as well as the depth of cut. But in automatic lathe, all the operations from feed, depth of cut, even for fixing the object, fixing the workpiece, removing the workpiece, everything is done by the lathe only. So that kind of lathe is considering as a automatic lathe. So in a lathe in which the workpiece is automatically fed without involvement and without the use of operator is called as a automatic lathe. It's required very less attention of the operator. So attention is not required. Only initially when you are setting the workpiece, at that time you need to have some kind of attention is required. In that also just you need to see it has to properly fixing or not. Even fixing, everything has to be taken care by the machine only. Completely automated machine. So attention of operators is required very less. So setup has been made and the machine is loaded. So whatever the workpiece is there, it is loading on the headstock. So next one is the CNC lathe, or nothing but computer control lathe. So in our CNC lab, in your CAD/CAM lab, we having CNC lathe also there. So that is what is the CNC lathe? Actually, this is nothing but computer numerical control. So completely your work is the lathe is controlled by computer. So in automatic lathe and CNC lathe, what is the difference? In automatic lathe, dimensions everything you need to give once. So you need to feed the dimensions everything, and accordingly your automatic lathe will work. Whereas in a CNC lathe, so everything you need to give in terms of computer program. So what are the dimension, what are the size, length, diameters, everything you need to give in terms of computer programming. So completely computer only is controlling the machine operations. That's why you used to call it as a computer control lathe. So one more important lathe is there, turret lathe. So this is one of the important lathe in lathe operations. So turret lathe is nothing but here what happened in previously up to now in whatever the lathe you've seen. So in lathe you have tailstock as well as the headstock. But here in this lathe you see here tailstock is not there. So previously tailstock is nothing but a constant object is lying here. But here you see here some kind of hexagonal object, some kind of hexagonal block is mounted. So this hexagonal block is called as the turret. So this kind of lathe is called as a turret lathe. So turret lathe is the adoption of the engine lathe. It's a one kind of engine lathe where the tailstock is replaced by a turret slider. So this kind of turret is replaced here. So this kind of lathe is called as the turret lathe. So this turret normally cylindrical turret or hexagonal turret, even sometimes pentagonal, sometimes octagonal turrets also there. But most popular turrets are whether cylindrical or hexagonal turrets more popularly using. The tool post of the engine lathe is replaced by a cross slide. So similarly, so tool post, previously tool post is there. So now the tool post is replaced by a cross slide. So directly on cross slide, you directly mounting on the workpiece. By a cross slide, which is in this number of tools can hold. In previously in tool post, you can hold at a time only one cutting tool. But in turret lathe, you can have this tool slide. So in this tool slide, at a time you can mount multiple tools you can mount. You can mount 4 tools, you can mount even 6 tools also possible to mount. So this is one type of tool, turret lathe. One type of lathe is called turret lathe. Similar to the turret lathe, there is one more lathe called as the capstan lathe. So normally turret and capstan lathe normally used. But the difference in turret lathe and capstan lathe, what is there? So turret lathe, capstan lathe is similar to the turret lathe, but only difference in the capstan lathe is there is a similar to the turret lathe. The difference is turret is not fixed. In turret lathe, normally turret is fixed at this tailstock. You can rotate up to some distance. You can rotate, but in capstan lathe, so this can easily be slidable. So whatever you having the turret is there, the turret is easily slide on the guideways. So that's only the difference between capstan lathe and turret lathe. The remaining all are same. So normal lathe to turret lathe difference, the tailstock is replaced with the turret. That's why you used to call it as a turret lathe. So this turret is maybe the hexagonal turret or maybe cylindrical turret or maybe octagonal turret. So different shape and different size of the turrets can be mounted. So that is called turret lathe. So this turret is, if possible, can move easily, slide easily on this guideways. Then that lathe is called as the capstan lathe. So further details of the turret lathe and capstan lathe, maybe we can discuss separately. So now just only in the types of lathes only I'm discussing. These are the few important types of lathes are there. So engine lathe is a normal general purpose lathe. So bench lathe, small size of the lathe, which is mounted on the bench. Speed lathe, high speed lathes. So lathe which is operating at very high speed and it's a constant speed. So that's why in this gearboxes are not there. Speed lathe, and then tool room lathe, high precision lathes. So high precision machining when is required, we need to require a tool room lathe, and then automatic lathe. So whatever the lathe operation, all the operation is performed by automated, then it is called as automatic lathe. Then computer control are nothing but CNC lathe, because all the process are controlled by computer, is called as a computer controller CNC lathe. And then capstan and turret lathe. So your tailstock is replaced by a turret, is called as a turret lathes. So these are different types of lathes are there. So this is the second topic in your subject. So then different kind of lathe operations, maybe these things maybe we can discuss in the next class. So I'm stopping here. So if anybody having any doubt, please ask me. So 3 topics we have seen in today's class. So one is basic lathe, definition of lathe we have seen. And then if you're coming to the syllabus, you can say the working principle or nothing but mechanism of lathe, and then specification of the lathe and different types of lathe. So these 3 topics we have seen today. So anybody having any questions on this?
Sir, can you explain the first topic, sir?
What is the first topic?
Because I don't. Yes.
You come late?
Yes, sir.
You came late to the class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see, if you come late, I think I cannot do, because hardly I have 3 minutes, 2 minutes time is left out for the completion of this. So if you're coming to the working principle of lathe, this is a typical working principle of the lathe. So what we are doing in lathe, we are inserting workpiece between the 2 centers. If you see here, so we having a 2 centers here. So inserting a workpiece are nothing but placing the workpiece between the 2 center. So this is, we can call it as a live center. This is calling it as a dead center. So in between the 2 centers, we are inserting the workpiece, and this workpiece is rotated about its axis. The workpiece rotating about its axis. This rotating workpiece is fed by a cutting tool. By feed given by the cutting tool, we are removing the unwanted material. So this is the basic working principle of the cutting tool. So this is mentioned here. So working principle of the cutting tool. Holding the workpiece between the 2 centers are nothing but two checks. So for one headstock and one tailstock, right? In between these two, you hold the workpiece, and this workpiece is rotating. So removing the material from a rotating workpiece by a stationary cutting tool is called as a lathe. So that is the basic working principle of any lathe. Rotating workpiece, removing the material by a stationary cutting tool by a rotating workpiece is called as a lathe, or nothing but turning.
Thank you, sir.
If you want to listen detail, maybe you can refer my video. After this class, maybe I will upload my video on YouTube. You can refer in video. Because I am having less time now. Only 1 minute time is left out. Right? Any other questions are there for anybody? Fine. So everybody please go through class notes. Tell me. Sajid?
Sir, which lathe is used to manufacture the screws, nuts?
Which lathe is used to manufacture the grooves? Engine lathe are nothing but center lathe. What is the general purpose lathe we are seeing? First type of engine lathe or center lathe. So normally this is using for general purpose applications. Whatever the grooves, whatever the nuts, whatever the bolts we are manufacturing, normally we are using engine lathe or maybe center lathe. So this bench lathe or maybe speed lathe, all other lathe which is using for specific applications, for specific purposes. So normal purpose is engine lathe is the most common lathe. Even for tool room lathe, automatic lathe, computer control lathe is using for specific purposes. Where you have to have high productivity, then we are using automatic lathe or maybe computer control lathe. I think we having less than 1 minute time is there now. So fine, if any student having any more doubt, maybe please ask me in the next